ALG really saved me. I put all of my success on joining this group. People constantly checking in saved me.
I made so many friends with people that I've never met, but I feel incredibly close to, and I consider them family.
It really is a family. It is a place where you can just be yourself and there is no judgment. There is no shame. You are so welcome there.
Nobody has to be in this alone. Everybody is either going through or has gone through the same thing at one point.
Let's do this.
Welcome back to the ALG podcast. If you're listening to this on the day of drop, then happy Friday to you. Really quick at the top of the show, I just want to let you know, if you could 5-star rate and review the podcast, those 5-star rate and reviews go a very long way. And
especially for the fact of this is the last, right? We're about to get out some winners for the for rates and reviews. So
yes,
it's time to do it. Next week, we're going to be doing that.
Next week, we're going to announce the winners who will be taking home a copy of the Accountable Life Group Journal. So please 5-star rate and review the podcast. We love to hear your input. And now we are on to the show. As always, I am John Arpino, otherwise known as JARPS_journey on Instagram. And I am joined today by my partner in crime, David Roden, otherwise known as fit_drock on Instagram. And together we are the Accountable Life Group. David, what's going on?
This is going to be a fun episode. So this was like kind of spur of the moment. I thought it'd be kind of cool. This is my vibe. I really enjoy this process. Some people don't, and that's fine. Like, this isn't for everyone. But what I love is some people are the cool, calm, and collected, like just in their own little world. Let me just do my thing. And that's how they like to grow and sustain. And some people, they love the David Goggins. They love the intense, like, motivation in your face, all this kind of stuff. And it's all over the board. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to talk more at people today and kind of give some motivation, and kind of like, if you're on a walk listening to this, if you're in your office, if you're sitting down, you're going to have some struggles because you're going to want to move. But like, I think it'd be kind of cool and different to bring some heat. And so I'll start it off by one of the things I just actually made a Instagram and social media post on is, guys, one of the things that I think is, when you look at change, when you look at making this obesity transformation effective, long-term, sustainable, and when you get into the nitty-gritty, one of the hardest things that people constantly message me about, I dealt with myself about, is being stuck in the how, being stuck in this position of keto, paleo. What's my carbs at? What's my macros at? What is this at? Doing all this kind of stuff. And they're so nitty gritty on the how. They're so nitty gritty in this position of, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? What is the next thing? What's the little niche? What's the secret? What nutrition thing am I not knowing?
Right.
And I want you to listen to this, guys, because there is one thing that I've come to realize within a year of doing this podcast, talking to all different types of people: paleo, keto, carnivore, I don't care, Weight Watchers, I don't care what the program is. The number one thing you have to do, period, I don't care what program you decide, I don't care where you're at in your journey, the number one thing you have to do is make the decision to burn the fucking boats, to make the decision that where you're at is not where you're going to stay. Like, this is like, if you haven't done it yet, this is a point in time where you can do that, where it's like listening to this podcast right now. I don't know if you're on a walk. I don't know if you're on a run. I don't know if you're sitting in the office, coming home from work. I don't care where you're at, but you can make the decision. Because what is a decision? Decision comes from the root word incision, which means to cut off, to cut. When you make a decision, you decide that there is no other option. This is what I'm doing. Like, I remember when I hit 50 pounds down, I made the decision that I was changing everything. And in a matter of a year after that point, I lost over 100 pounds, because the power of the decision, where I didn't know carb cycling, macro counting, calorie. I didn't know how I was going to do it. But the power in the decision is going to put you on a path to success. Because what do most people do? They get, well, let's see if this keto thing works. Well, maybe it's carb cycling. Oh, I heard Mediterranean it may work for me. And it's like, that's what you guys don't get. It happens when you make the decision and you don't allow another answer other than the result. That's where I want to start with this.
No, I love that. I mean, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it begins and ends with you. So every time you say, next Monday, next Monday, next Monday, next Monday, all of a sudden next Monday becomes next month. You know what I mean? And then next month becomes the next 3 months. You alone are going to start this. No one's going to hold your hand. Nobody's coming to save you ever. It's a decision, like David said, that you have to make on your own every single time. There's a ton of tools out there.
Definitely.
Ton of tools out there. There's podcasts, there's Instagrams, there's books, there's audiobooks. But at the end of the day, Goggins is not reaching through your iPhone and grabbing you by the collar and saying, okay, we're going on a run. It's just not, it's never going to happen. So with that, you are always going to want instant gratification.
Truth.
I talk about this a lot on Instagram. We've come from a society now where everything is at our fingertips. We can order food. We can call a cab. We can do whatever we need to do right with our phone. You can't lose weight from your phone. I'm sorry. It's not happening. You're not going to type into Google how to lose weight the quickest, and the next morning you're going to drink some magical fucking bullshit, and then you're going to drop 50 pounds by Thursday. It's not happening. Okay? So you have to be ready for the long haul.
You're at this for 30 years, people.
Yeah.
Or 50.
I'm here 6 years. 6 fucking years, and I still don't have it all figured out.
I'm 7 years in. Same position. It's crazy to me, and I get it. Because like it's funny because even on the podcast itself, guys, you sit here and you're listening to this now, and I don't know where you're at in your journey. I don't know if this is day 1 for you or you're 3 months in, you've lost 20, but you're frustrated because you thought you'd lose more. I don't know where you're at, but it's crazy to me. I almost don't like the stories of people who lose 300 pounds in 2 years because it sets an unrealistic expectation for most people. It sets this position that you think it's going to happen that quick. And for most people, it doesn't. It just doesn't do it. There's going to be bumps in the road, whether you hurt yourself in the process or you have things that come up or your body just is fighting you on this transformation. There's going to be positions, or at least for most people, there's going to be positions where it's not sunshine and rainbows. And I'm so grateful for that, for me at least. Taking almost 3 years to lose 160 pounds, I had plenty of plateaus. I had plenty of times where I didn't really lose weight over a month, 2 month time period, even though I was putting in the time, I was putting in the effort. But you know what that does? That builds grit. That gives you the ability that if you're able to push through plateaus, you're able to then drop your ego, drop your emotions of like, I'm stressed about this, I'm frustrated about this, and is this not going to work? Where am I at? And just be like, no, I'm going to figure it out. That's what's so much fun about this is it's different for everyone. There are some commonalities. We can talk about calories. We can talk about hydration. We can talk about moving your body more, but isn't it fascinating that everyone still does it a little different? The timeline is a little different. Everything is a little different. What they did for workouts is a little different. What their favorite foods were a little different. And so be excited to find your journey in this. Build that grit for yourself, because if it's all about what David Roden says, if it's all about what John Arpino says, if it's all about what David Goggins says and his approach and this approach and this nutrition plan, if all you do is be a copycat of everyone else, you're going to have a really hard time to create sustainability for yourself. This is your journey, guys. All anyone is trying to do is help you get to the results that you're looking for. That's right. It.
There's no cookie cutter way to success, to weight loss, to any. There's no cookie cutter way to this. You have to find what works for you, hone in on it, and continue to grind every single fucking day. Period. No days off. If you want to win, you need to set your mind to win. The minute that you think that defeat is coming, you will fail. And failure is not a bad thing. A lot of people like to say, oh, I failed and now I got to listen. Failure is a sign That's all it is. It's a sign to know where you fucked up and what you need to correct. And that's all it is. It's not a, we need to stop doing this now forever. No, it's not. Perfect example. And I love to use this all the time. When you learned how to ride a bike, when your parents took the training wheels off your first bicycle and you fell and you skidded your knee and you cried and whatever the fuck happened, was that it? Was that the last time you got on a bike? Did you put the training wheels back on? Are you still riding with training wheels right now? Because if you are, then you don't know how to take failure. Because I know for a fact, if you're listening to this and you know how to ride a bike, your training wheels are not on your fucking bike anymore. So let's take the training wheels off, guys. You don't need.
I love the same approach that I've heard it with walking. Think if your parents, after the third time of you trying to walk at 2 years old or a year and a half, were like, all right, fuck it. John's not walking. He fell over 3 times.
That's it.
That's it.
Pack
fuck it. Get him a stroller. He ain't walking. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. Just, I guess my son's not walking. We lose that at some point in life. At least a lot of people do. A lot of people lose that fear, that they create that fear of failure. They create that fear of what if this doesn't work? When you're a child, I love this analogy of like, live like a child. Children, they don't have fears. They're just like, ooh, let's try this. Ooh, I want to be an astronaut, farmer, Zoolander. I don't know. But they're like, I'm just going to do it. Oh, I'm going to wear purple pants, a striped shirt. I'm going to wear a gator belt and a flask, and I'm just going to go to school. I don't really give a shit what other people think.
Fuck, yeah.
They just do it. Living like a kid in certain aspects is massive. Being able to just be like, I'm just going to live me. I'm going to do me. I don't give a fuck if I'm going to the gym. I don't care who sees me. I don't care if these spandex pants make my butt look too big. I don't give a shit because I'm doing me. Mm-hmm. That's what it's about.
And you know what, guys? We as humans have a hard time worrying about our future selves. Okay? Because for some reason, our brain cannot process what we're going to be in the future. We're always worried about, if you donate to charity, you're trying to help whatever charity out there, you're doing it for the other man, right? But you're never doing anything for your future self, whether that's putting money away, living a more healthy lifestyle, whatever the case may be. You really need to pay attention to what you think you are going to want and need over the next 5, 10, 15 years. If you're in a spot right now where, all what you're worried about is where am I having dinner, or what's for breakfast tomorrow, or where are we having lunch at the office, you need to check yourself. You need to check yourself, because 5 years from now, you're going to look at this moment in time and be like, well, why the fuck didn't I start then? Because you're just going to be starting now. Like you have you have it in you to start and to keep going. The only person holding you back is you. Mm-hmm. That's it.
And I want to leave it with a little bit of this because I think it's so fun to me. Is you sit here and I don't know where you're at, if you're in the car. Hopefully you're not in the car because we're to come with a little heat. And it's just you sit here and it's fun because emotions are so important, and having a variance of emotions from happy to sad to everything else in between. But different emotions are important for different things. And we have the ability to control our emotions, as people don't think you can. You can. I've learned it through and through. I'm a testament of it from the point where I was in such a depressed state at 18 years old, I almost ended my life living in a 7,000 square foot house with an indoor basketball court, with family that loved me, with all the friends, all the support in the world. And yet I was able to put myself in such a negative emotional state. I almost ended my life over it. And you are probably looking at me going, you had everything. How do you do that? And this is how. This is the reality is, if you live your life slumped over, down, talking like this, asking yourself questions of, why am I not good enough? Why can't I lose weight? Why am I such a failure? What do you think is going to happen? Or you start doing what I learned, which is sitting up high, big chest, breathe out of your stomach, and look at yourself in the mirror and say, you're a fucking champion, David. You are capable of fucking anything, David. I'm fucking proud of you, David. I've been doing this for 7 years. You want to know how I have such fire? You want to know how I'm able to stay so consistent? Is because I've been doing this for 7 fucking years. Look at myself in the mirror and doing incantations and being like, David, I know you're better than this. I know you can do this. Why? Because look at everything you've done in your life. And I know at bare minimum, you are a child of God. So I know you can do anything. And so being able, I don't know where you're at right now, but just for a moment, pull out that cell phone, whatever it is, take the camera on, put it to yourself, tell yourself who you are, or even better than that, tell yourself who you're going to be. Who are you going to be? Whoever you decide to be, and make the decision today. Start speaking it into existence today.
No, shit.
I told you I want to come with heat.
No. Listen. It doesn't matter if today's your day 1, your day 10, your day 30, your day 45. It doesn't make a fucking difference. At the end of the day, you're doing this for you. And at the end of the day, it's you versus you. You're the only person who stands in your own way. When you start allowing yourself to succeed, it's everlasting. I promise you that. Because once you get that little bit of taste of success, you're going to want more of it. You're going to want more of it and more of it and more of it. And one day you're going to realize, hey, the taste of success tastes a lot better than that 5th slice of pizza.
Damn straight.
Promise.
And pizza tastes good.
And pizza tastes fucking delicious.
But standing on stage, losing 200 pounds, looking like a little sexy piece of man meat is worth an infinite amount of pizza and ice cream.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, guys, I want to leave you all with the question. Are we going to fold, or are we going to get up and continue to fight? And that's what you have to ask yourself.
And why is it important to you? I love it. I love it.
Because you are capable. You're worth more than you think you are. You're always worthy of success, but you have to tell yourself that. You have to.
And here's your challenge. Here's your challenge. If you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're not on YouTube and you're just listening to it, go to the YouTube, go to the comment section, and tell me 5 things of who you are and who are you going to be. Like you're speaking to it yourself in the mirror. I want to know, who is this person and who are you trying to be? Who are you going to become?
All right, guys. There's only one question really left to ask is, who are you going to be tomorrow? Are you going to be the same person listening to this podcast who doesn't know which way is up and which way is down? Or are you going to grab a hold of life, you're going to take it by the balls, and you're going to win? That's it. That's the final question. You have the power to win. I have nothing left to say.
I think this was phenomenal. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the heat. There's going to be a couple of you that is scared. It's like, oh my gosh, this is intense. And some of you are going to be like, all right, I'm running through a fucking wall. Where's the wall?
And if you like this one, please remember to like this one and rate it, review it, tell a friend, share it with somebody, because there's people out there that need to hear it, whether it's you or not. So please share this. As always, guys, you can find the Accountable Life Group Journal on Amazon.com. You can join us here each and every Friday. You can join us each and every Wednesday on the ALG community call by logging on to www.accountable.lifegroup.com, going down to the events page and clicking live, because that's where we are each and every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 Pacific. And last but not least, if you are trying to take control of your life, if you listen to this podcast and you really want to take control of your life, and you're maybe asking how, maybe you do need a helping hand, because you know what? It's okay to ask for help sometimes. You go on to www.algcoaching.com and you can get one-on-one or group coaching with David and I, because we want you to fucking succeed. And on that note, stay beautiful, stay sexy, stay accountable.
Toodles.